back in Jacksonville, and the military flyover the stadium here. Drew Brees took notice as he waits along the sideline. Beautiful day here in Jacksonville. For the Saints, it's the start of 3 consecutive road games. And the Jacksonville Jaguars, their schedule is a real tough one. Sean Payton, who is getting back Marcus Colston into the lineup. Marcus Colston, who broke his collarbone on the opening night of the season against the Green Bay Packers, has made a quick recovery and is back in the lineup. And for a report on that, let's go to our sideline reporter for today, Jennifer Hale. Jennifer.
Well, guys, with Marcus Colston's return today, the Saints receiving corps is finally 100% for the first time this season. Colston returns from that shoulder injury with a metal plate in his chest attached with 6 screws. It is permanent. He's had quite the speedy recovery. He partially credits that to the use of a hyperbaric chamber, Sam and Chad. He owns one. It sits in his hallway. He climbs in and sleeps in it at night. He brings his iPhone and iPad in there. He even took it with him to the Super Bowl when the Saints made that trip to Miami. Chad, did you ever use one of these things when you were playing?
Well, Jennifer, I haven't, but using alternative medicine, using different things to get back out on the field, these NFL players know exactly what they need to do with their bodies, and it's quite remarkable what Marcus Colston has been able to do in the last 2 weeks.
Man, we talked about Blaine Gabbert, who played 3 seasons at the University of Missouri, and now in week 4, his second NFL start. Last week was a tough one at Charlotte at Carolina, where he played in a driving rainstorm. Gabbert splits out Maurice Jones-Drew. Short drop, and the pass is through the hands of Jason Hill. And a flag comes in for you today.
Pass interference, defense, number 33, hook and turn. The ball is placed at the spot of the foul. First down.
Off the play fake. Gabbert's pass is complete to his tight end, Mercedes Lewis, who's had only 4 catches this season. He's been bothered by some injuries, but they need him to be a big part of the offense. Checking out the rest of the offense for Jacksonville, we mentioned Mercedes Lewis, but Maurice Jones-Drew is the key, as Chad said right at the top, in running the football. Couple of changes on the offensive line. Guy Wimper goes from right tackle to left tackle. Eben Britton goes from left guard to right tackle. And Gabbert to throw again. Nobody open. Takes it wide and turns it into a nice gain. Good run by Gabbert. Saints rush 5. The pass was tipped, juggled, and goes incomplete. Intended for Maurice Jones-Drew, with Scott Shanley covering on the play. 5 defensive backs in for the Saints. Quick outside of Mike Thomas. Thomas is hit and brought down at the 38-yard line. They motioned Jones-Drew back in front of the quarterback. Gabbert throws. It was tipped, and it's incomplete. Jason Hill, the intended receiver, was falling down, and the pass went off his hands, incomplete. From the 38, 3 wide receivers, 5 defensive backs for the Jaguars. First pass is complete, and that is to Lance Moore up at the 43, only 10 points. Sproles shifting. Off the fake, the completion to Jimmy Graham, the tight end, who's averaging better than 16 yards per reception. The former basketball player at the University of Miami. Offense, Drew Brees, we mentioned the quarterback. Pierre Thomas will be one of 3 running backs. Darren Sproles will be in there. The first-round draft pick, Mark Ingram, will be in. The offensive line has Brian De La Puente. Jaguars' defense has been solid. The tackles inside have played well. Tyson Alualu and Terrence Knighton. The linebackers have been good, led by free agent signing Paul Posluszny, who played in Buffalo prior to coming to Jacksonville. Secondary has William Middleton starting for the injured Derek Cox. The completion to Jimmy Graham down to the 40. That's a first down for the Saints. And receivers on first down, it's Sproles. Nice hole, and he's quick through it. Sproles, who broke a 30-yarder for a touchdown last week against Houston, takes it down to the 21-yard line. On Mark Ingram in at running back. And it's Ingram carrying the first-round draft pick with power. Powers his way down to about the 16-yard line. He picked up 5 on the play. Back in. Breeze gets time. Throws short to Lance Moore. And he's down to the 10-yard line, a first down. The middle linebacker, Paul Pozlosny. This is their 15th trip to the red zone with that high-powered offense. You contrast that with the Jacksonville Jaguars, who've only gotten to the red zone once. 10, Sproles is the running back. Everybody out. Breeze to Sproles. Nice cut. Sproles to the goal line. And he stopped just short. The fullback is Jed Collins. They split Ingram into the slot. Collins carries. And he is in. Touchdown. So the Saints, on their first possession, drive in for the score in preseason. For Jed Collins, a touchdown run for the Saints, a 62-yard drive. Morstead kicks it off. Deji Kareem will return from 3 yards deep. Oh, good pressure, good coverage by the Saints. Kareem stopped short of the 10-yard line. Jaguars on offense start from their 9-yard line. 2 tight ends in. Zach Miller, and the ball dropped by Maurice Jones-Drew, but he's able to recover back at the 7-yard line. Here's 3rd and 10 for the Jaguars. Gabbert, quick toss to Mike Thomas, and he turns it into a first down and a whole lot more. The chase is on. They bring him down from behind. Big tackle by Tracy Porter. It's quick.
A great call from Dirk Cutter. The same play they used on the last 3rd and 10. This time the Jaguars just blocked it better, caught the Saints in the same look. Mike Thomas splits the seam, and down the field he goes. You can see the great blocking by the offensive line, throwing their bodies on the smaller defensive backs, and let Mike Thomas work his
empty backfield. Gabbert being rushed, steps up, throws short, incomplete. Want to get it to his tight end, Mercedes Lewis. Closest man to it was Jonathan Casillas, the Saints linebacker. Good pressure this season. Here's Matt Turk. Put the nose down, wants to drop it inside the 10. It did. It bounces sideways, and it's out of bounds inside the 5-yard line. That's something Matt Turk has been working on all week, and he got it out of bounds inside the 5. And he's in the slot. Everybody out. Breeze from 8 yards deep in the end zone to Sproles. And he's got a first down. This is one of the most versatile backs. They read Cam Newton very well, and Lovie Smith thrilled that his guys got a pick and a return for a touchdown. That handoff to Mark Ingram, and Ingram gets close to the first down. We are late in the first quarter. They pick up the pressure. Pass is complete. Once again to Darren Sproles. Sproles is the leading receiver on the team. He came in with 21 catches. The ball up to the 39-yard line. It's a first down. Started from their own 4, and they're out close to the 40-yard line. End of the first quarter in Jacksonville. The Saints lead the Jaguars 7-0. Is Chad Pennington.
I'm flying high today, Sam.
You're multitasking. From the 39, we start the second quarter. Drew Brees puts it up. He's got a man, and he completes it to Robert Meacham. Meacham, who was the big receiver last week against Houston in the first half. Yards to the Jaguars 36. On the carry, Mark Ingram. Couple of nifty moves inside. Gets inside the 30 to the 29.
To the game.
Breeze handing to Sproles. Sproles with quickness. There he goes again. He's tripped up and falls forward to the 13-yard line.
Every time this guy touches the ball, it's a potential for a touchdown or a big play for the Saints. You can see they have a nice rhythm here. They're working a zone blocking scheme. Darren Sproles picks his hole, makes the first tackler miss, gets up in there for a nice play for the Saints.
There's 13. With Sproles in the slot. The fake, Breeze out to Sproles with some room, heading for the corner, and he's wrestled out of bounds at the 1-yard line. He worked him to come to New Orleans. Off the play fake, Breeze throws, Jimmy Graham, touchdown.
A Tony Gonzalez type.
Sorry, Casey is good. The powerful Saints offense is rolling. 2 possessions, 2 touchdowns. Nothing lead, 12 plays, 96 yards. And once again, Drew Brees with a touchdown pass. 31 consecutive games with a touchdown pass. That's the 3rd longest streak in NFL history. Johnny Unitas, 47 consecutive games. Brett Favre, 36. And now Drew Brees at 31, breaking the tie he was in with Dan Marino. One of the premier quarterbacks in the NFL. 2 tight ends. Gabbert being chased. Gets rid of it. And a good catch on the play by Mike Thomas. From the 28. Well, the Jaguars did not want to play from behind. This is not what you want for your rookie quarterback in his 2nd NFL start. Maurice Jones-Drew pushing the pile close to the 30-yard line. And it looks like he got there for the 1st down. Gabbert gets protection and finds Jason Hill. Hill to the 48-yard line. Time for another update. Let's go to the studio to Kurt Menefee.
Michael Vick working his magic against the Niners. Somehow escapes the rush and then finds a wide-open Clay Harbor in the back of the end zone for the touchdown. And the Eagles are on top of San Francisco 7-3 early in the 2nd quarter.
For 11, 97 yards. Off the play fake, puts it up again, in trouble. They got him. 11th sack of the season for the Saints. Give this one to Roman Harper, the safety, who now leads the team with 3.5 sacks. Out of the shotgun on 3rd and long. They have to get to the 42 of New Orleans. The completion to Dillard. Down to the 45. There's a flag on the play. 4 flags down on the field. Jared Dillard with the reception.
Personal foul, face mask, defense, number 58. 15 yards added to the end of the run. 1st down.
That's a tough one on Scott Shanley.
Well, here's what happens, Sam. You get a receiver in space on a linebacker, Scott Shanley. He's doing everything he can to try to get this guy down before the 1st down marker. Huge play for Jacksonville. Blaine Gabbert is doing a great.
Gabbert throws, and a diving catch by Mercedes Lewis at the 14-yard line. That's another former basketball player. Is in the backfield. Off the play fake. Gabbert. And a great effort for the catch by Zach Miller. The backup tight end, Zach Miller, wrestled it away from the defenders.
This starts with Blaine Gabbert. You have a 2-safety defense. He looks, he finds the tight end down the middle, makes a strike right down the middle in Jacksonville. Tight end Zach Miller is going to work the middle of the field versus the Saints 2-safety defense. Watch the anticipation from Blaine Gabbert. Puts his 5th foot in the ground, lets the ball go before Zach Miller takes it to the post. That's why the play was successful.
What's the importance of when you say put that foot in the ground?
He didn't wait for Zach Miller to come open. He believed in Zach Miller would get to the hole that he saw. He let the ball go early. The Saints didn't have enough time to react to it.
That you can bid on. Saints start from the 21. Drew Brees drops it off to Pierre Thomas, who gets a block, works his way up the sideline, and is out of bounds up at the 40-yard line, a pickup of 19. Plus 3 wide receivers. A blitz from the outside. Brees gets rid of it to Sproles with a good catch, and he's at the 1st down marker. It's very, very close. He saw some reps in practice this week. Here's 2nd and 10. Pierre Thomas finds a hole. Nice run. He ran into his own man, Colston. Colston, a good blocker, was trying to block Drew Coleman, but a 15-yard run for Pierre Thomas. Pierre Thomas in the backfield on 3rd and 10. Brees, and it's knocked down, incomplete. Good coverage that time by DeJuan Landry. Or make it Dwight Lowry. 3 yards. It's on the way, and it's got the distance, and it is no good. Jaguars will get good field position. Casey tried the long one. They have to get to the Saints 47. Going short to Jason Hill. Slips one man. Keeps it going. Has the first down. Good job by Jason Hill. He made some great moves. Finally, Jonathan Vilma took him down with a pickup of 16.
You probably wouldn't notice them, but they're absolutely football players.
Everybody out. Gabbert. Pass intended for the running back, Deji Kareem, coming out of the backfield. And that's going to bring up a fourth down.
Well, he's so valuable, and you can see where stats like 40s and height and weight and things like that really don't matter in between the white lines.
Matt Turk, nose down, kicks it almost straight up in the air. The ball bounces at the 26 and rolls out of bounds and has a good effect for the Jacksonville Jaguars. Turk still getting used to punting with the nose down on the drop, but this one had a good roll out of bounds at the Saints 13-yard line. And everybody out. Breeze fires and completes it to Lance Moore. Up to the 34-yard line.
Go.
Breeze pass is intercepted by Darrell Smith. Only Breeze there, and he forces him out of bounds. Darrell Smith with a big takeaway for the Jaguars.
Smith right here dropping right into the lane underneath Darren Sproles. He read Drew Brees' eyes. Watch Drew Brees' eyes here. Let's see what happens. He's looking it over. He thinks Darrell Smith's going to
team. Gabbert pressured. The ball knocked down. Incomplete. Will Smith and Cedric Ellis with pressure, and I believe Ellis got the football. Red zone, and as Greg Williams says, if we hold the team to a field goal in the red zone, that's a win for us. And the field goal try by Josh Scobie is good. For the Jaguars, they'll take it. It's points on the board off the turnover, and they've closed the gap to 14-10. With one timeout remaining.
With Drew Brees, we're going to push the ball down the field.
Brees goes to Jimmy Graham, the tight end, and he runs out of bounds at the 20-yard line. A pickup of 5 on the play, and he's turned into one of the best. Brees sends everybody out, steps up, throws, and completes to Meacham, who steps out of bounds at the 38-yard line. He was one-on-one with William Middleton. Pickup of 17 on the play. 12 seconds remaining.
To stop the clock.
Brees gets some pressure, pulls it down, and runs and heads for the sideline, out of bounds at the 44-yard line. With 5 seconds remaining in the half, Brees puts it up. It's up for grabs, and it's knocked down incomplete. And that's the end of the first half, and a good first half. The Saints got a fast start, which they wanted, but there's a flag. We're not done yet.
We're 12 men in the field of the defense. It's a 5-yard penalty. We will extend for an additional play.
One play,
so
second
down.
The Jaguars, after the timeout, get 12 men on the field.
Well, that 5-yard penalty results in a first down. We will extend for one play.
All right, Jaguars have 2 players back at the 10-yard line. Brees in trouble, gets away from one man, and is being chased by Kozlowski. Drops it off. Pierre Thomas with some running room, and now he's surrounded by Jaguars, and that's it. First half comes to an end. Saints leading the Jaguars 14-10. Sam Rosen, Chad Pennington, Jennifer Hale is along the sideline. Okay, Saints get the ball to start the second half. What do you expect to see from them?
I expect mixture. I expect their draw running game mixed with their play action game, continue to be patient and get a long drive trying to get some points on the board early in the second half.
Jags had to grow in confidence with the way they played in the second quarter and got things going after they were down 14-10.
You can see Blaine Gabbert's confidence growing throughout the game as well. They talked about explosion in the passing game. They have 5 explosive plays of more than 15 yards or more. They're playing exactly how they want to play. Look for them trying to get Maurice Jones-Drew involved in the second half.
All right, let's take a look at some of the numbers in the first half for these two teams. The passing numbers, 193 yards for the Saints, 147 net for the Jaguars. Blaine Gabbert put up some good yards. 273 yards total offense for the Saints. And the time of possession fairly close. Breeze. Everybody out. Breeze to the sideline. Nice play by Lance Moore. He turned on William Middleton. Middleton never saw it coming. And
to the quarterback.
16-yard pickup from the 39. Mark Ingram barrels his way through and up to the 46. He picked up 7 on the play. Ingram has run for 28 yards in the game. Sproles 34. Pierre Thomas 21. As all 3 backs are involved.
Evaluation.
Breeze under center. The toss to Sproles. Makes the cut. Gets the first down. And here he goes. Sproles down the sideline. A huge gain as he stepped out of bounds at the 21-yard line.
Game is so short, or so important for an offense with the 3rd and short. They can run, they can pass. Watch Darren Sproles knife through the hole. He actually ducks under, uses his feet, and then gets down the sideline. Has great speed. He can see the defenders coming before they're there and has a great feel of when to know when to make the cut.
Big block. Here's Ingram turning the corner and using his power to get down to the 16-yard line. A pickup of 5 on the play. Pierre Thomas and Darren Sproles in the backfield with Drew Brees. On 3rd and 3. Brees under pressure. They got him. First sack of the game for the Jaguars, and a big one. Austin Lane with his first NFL sack.
And then you get a pass rush with 4 defenders. Makes it really hard on the quarterback because there's too many defenders in pass coverage.
3 earlier in the game. And this one is hooked nicely through the uprights. 38-yard field goal for John Casey. 2-back formation. The fullback Greg Jones. Maurice Jones-Drew finds the hole. And here he goes. Whatever they said to him at halftime, he came out fired up. Big run for Maurice Jones-Drew of 41 yards.
Play now in the running game. This is their bread and butter, allowing Maurice Jones-Drew to go downhill. And now watch his speed to be able to get to the outside and make a big play. Another look, he just runs with a vengeance.
The toss. And a nice play on the outside by Patrick Robinson. Saints drop back deep in coverage. Gabbert steps up, and the pass is intercepted by Robinson. On the return, looking for some running room. And he doesn't have much, and he's brought down at the 32-yard line. And for Blaine Gabbert, just a head-shaking experience.
Yeah, he knows, Sam. He knows he just made a mistake, and that's why Greg Williams loves Patrick Robinson with the improvement that he's made.
Pierre Thomas in the backfield with Breeze. Breeze throws to Jimmy Graham, his tight end. He's got a first down.
Back at the pick, here's Patrick Robinson. You're going to see the New Orleans Saints defense drop 8 in coverage with 2 safeties in the back of the secondary, only rushing 3. Watch Patrick Robinson. Watch the cat and mouse game he plays with Blaine Gabbert. He gets up underneath of the route from the end. That's what I've been trying to teach him.
He says he's the best athlete in the secondary for the Saints. Here's Pierre Thomas on the carry into Jaguars territory. Action on our phone. For the Saints, 2nd and 3. Breeze completes to Graham down to the 40-yard line. They've got the fullback, Jed Collins, in as well. Breeze goes outside, completes it to Meacham, and he's wrestled down by Darrell Smith. Time for an update, and for that, as always, we go back to Kurt Menefee.
The Tony Romo comeback tour continues. This is 3rd touchdown pass of the day to Jason Witten this time. Ties a Cowboy record, 20th time he's done that in his career, tying Danny White. 27-3, Cowboys over the line.
Everybody out. Breeze quickly. First down, Marcus Colston. His first catch since returning from the broken collarbone in the opening game of the season. A great recovery by Marcus Colston. And Breeze has hit 7 different receivers in the game. First down at the 25. The blitz is picked up. Sproles gets outside and is ridden down inside the 20. Got by Middleton. Breeze stepped up. Now it's Pierre Thomas in the backfield with Breeze. Blitz coming, and he was hit hard. Paul Postlosny blitzing from his middle linebacker position. Hit Breeze hard. The pass incomplete. And a good stand by the Jaguars. See 39-yard field goal try. Chase Daniel, the backup quarterback, is the holder. Long snapper is Justin Drescher. And the kick is on the way. And again, he hooks it right through there. John Casey missed earlier from 53s, made his next 2. Saints with a 10-point lead. 10-point lead. Gabbert, 12 for 27, 165 yards, 1 touchdown. That was to Zach Miller in the first half, and 1 interception. Saints defensively, what do you look for, Chad, from them? Here's Jones-Drew powering his way up across the 30 to the 33-yard line. The backfield. Gabbert being blitzed, throws it high and too far. And the blitz coming from the outside, Jonathan Casillas, third-year man out of Wisconsin. And the Badgers had a big win over Nebraska yesterday. Here Thomas and Darren Sproles in the backfield on 3rd and 8. Everybody out. Breeze completes to Pierre Thomas. They wrap him up. He's fighting for yardage. He's short of the first down. That's a great job by the 2 safeties, DeJuan Landry and Dwight Lowry. 3rd, 4th, and a long yard. With Ingram in the backfield, and they stop him. The Saints think they have it. I don't know. This will be some measurement here.
In this first down.
And he made it by the nose of the football. The agent last year, we brought him in, and he's playing for the injured Olin Kreutz and doing a good job at center. Straight ahead. Ingram fighting for a couple of extra yards into Jags territory. With the Saints leading the Jaguars 20-10. Fox NFL Sunday continues after a break from your local Fox station. The 3rd quarter. Saints in Jaguars territory, 2nd and 6. Breeze finds the open man. It's Meacham. Slips 1 tackle. Shoved out of bounds by Darrell Smith. He made Rashean Mathis miss. Breeze 29 for 37, 263 yards, and 1 touchdown. Puts it up again. This time deep for Graham. He's got it. The big tight end with great hands goes up and takes it away from Paul Postlosny.
Miller had in the first half for the touchdown for Jacksonville. Jimmy Graham's now going to work the middle of the field. And Drew Brees, accuracy. Putting on his back shoulder. Paul Postlosny actually has good coverage, but can't make the play because he can't see Drew make the throw.
Pierre Thomas on the carry, and he fights his way inside the 5 and down close to the 1-yard line. It's the fullback. Pierre Thomas the carry. Try to go over the top, nothing there. That mountain was too high to climb. 3 possessions in the red zone for the Saints. 2 touchdowns, 1 field goal.
Here's the game for the Jaguars, Sam.
Fake to Sproles, the pass batted down. Postlosny with a great play.
See Postlosny right here not take the play action fake from Drew Brees. He just checks it, but he steps right into the passing lane. Drew is expecting that middle linebacker to take that play action fake, and then he's going to dart that ball inside there.
And it's to a field goal. This one will be a 20-yard try officially. John Casey puts it through. He's 3 for 4 in the game, 9 for 10 on the season. The Saints have the only points of the second half. It's 23-10. And this is only the 8th play of the second half for the Jaguars. And the toss to Maurice Jones-Drew. 2 blockers in front of him. Getting outside, and he's taken out at the 24. Busy day in the NFL, and Kurt's got it all covered. Kurt, what's happening?
Well, Sam, Tony Romo has thrown back-to-back interceptions returned for touchdowns by the Lions defense. Bobby Carpenter did the first. This time it's Chris Houston, 56 yards on the score. The Lions, once down 27-3, have now pulled it within 10 in the third quarter.
Jacksonville 3 for 10 on third down conversions. Everybody out. Pressure on Gabbard, and they've got him. Third sack of the game for the Saints as they dropped Gabbard back at the 16-yard line. Will Smith was the first man there. Breeze checks it off. Jet Collins, the fullback, shifts. Breeze looking sideline, nobody open, and he takes it up to the 45 and steps out of bounds. Pickup of 5 on the play. Up the clock. Mark Ingram is at running back, and it's Ingram finding an opening, getting 3 up to the 48-yard line. Saints. Sproles, and he's got enough for the first down. First down with Ingram in the backfield. Breeze to put it up, and off the hands, and it's intercepted by the Jaguars. DeJuan Landry came up with the ball. Second turnover of the game for the Saints. And the Jaguars have a chance. They trail by 13. They're on offense from their own 46. Down 23-10. Maurice Jones-Drew. Little cutback. And he gets into Saints territory. Mike Thomas motions. Blitz coming from the outside. Will Smith got a piece of Gabbard. He gets away. Still being chased. Cam Jordan forces him out of bounds. There's a flag on the play on the far side.
Holding, defense number 58. It's a 5-yard penalty and an automatic first down.
Big break for the Jaguars. Scott Shanley, the linebacker. 2 tight ends in. Jones-Drew in the backfield. There's the fake. The rush is on. Gabbard gets rid of it. It's incomplete. Big pressure flag on the play. A hit out of bounds. That time it's Jonathan Casillas, so the Saints take back-to-back penalties.
Personal foul, unnecessary roughness, defense, number 52. 15-yard penalty from the previous spot, first down.
Line. Jones-Drew gets through the hole, gets a nice pickup on first down to the 23-yard line. Sean Rogers made the tackle.
We brought you guys here to stop this running game.
Here's Jones-Drew on the cutback, and Roman Harper is in on the tackle. Third and 2, short drop. Gabbard throws, incomplete. Roman Harper all over Zach Miller, the intended receiver. 2 tight ends to the right side. Fullback in. Now Miller motions. The play fake. Gabbard puts it up for Mercedes Lewis. It's overthrown. It's incomplete. Malcolm Jenkins covering on the play against Mercedes Lewis. All covered. Kurt, what's happening?
Hey, the Lions are doing the comeback thing again. Calvin Johnson, triple covered, still goes up and gets this one from Matthew Stafford, leading 7th touchdown reception of the game, of the season, pardon me. And once down 24, the Lions are within 6 and have the ball in the fourth quarter. Sam and Chad.
Thanks. Again working out of the shotgun, empty backfield, 3 wide receivers. Pressure, Postlosny's got him again. Paul Postlosny coming up with a couple of big plays for the Jaguars defense.
Instead of playing coverage, you're going to see the pressure from the left side of the offensive line. Postlosny trying to work inside, and that's where the inside pressure comes from.
Incompletions. Needs to get something going in a hurry. Everybody out. Gabbard steps up. That pass is caught by Mike Thomas. Diving grab by Thomas, close to the first down line.
He gets tripped up from the corner.
On third down, they've got the first on a hard run. And look at Maurice Jones-Drew stay on his feet and get down to the 36-yard line.
What a run by Jones-Drew in this.
Malcolm Jenkins tried to bring him down, he couldn't. Gabbert throws and completes to Cheston West. West recently picked up from the Green Bay practice squad. 2nd and 10. And again, everybody out. Gabbert in trouble, throwing high, but it was caught by Jared Dillard, and he's brought down for a loss. 11 for the Jaguars. Jones-Drew in the backfield. Make that Deji Kareem in the backfield with Gabbert. Everybody out now. Gabbert gets time, and the pass through the hands of Jason Hill, who was tiptoeing the sideline. They have to get to the 10-yard line. Pressure coming. Gabbert throws, and it's knocked away. Jabari Greer covering Cecil Shorts. 4th downs in the game for Jacksonville.
You can see the lack of execution on 4th down. Having receivers open, or at least a chance to make the 1st down, and not being able to convert the 4th down into a 1st down. Gabbert did a nice job recognizing the one-on-one coverage.
Jaguars continue to be in search of consistent offense. Breeze gets time, puts it up deep. Jimmy Graham's got it. And the tight end rumbles down the sideline. And he's taken down by Dwight Lowry. Another big play to Jimmy Graham. Pierre Thomas, the running back. Breeze checking off. And looks like it's a penalty.
Second down.
Took too much time. It's delay of the game. 15-10 at halftime. There's the blitz coming, and down goes Drew Brees. 3rd sack of the game for the Jaguars. A little pushing and shoving afterwards as the offensive lineman took exception to some of the rough play and maybe the way Brees was handled. Ball back to the 32. Brees steps to the side, throws deep, has a man, but he's out of bounds. Devery Henderson was out of bounds when he caught the ball. With a hip injury, he's been put on IR. He had signed a 5-year contract. Casey was brought in, and this one is hooked wide right. So he's missed the long distance ones. So the ball will be spotted at the 40-yard line. 3 wide receivers. Gabbert going short to Mercedes Lewis, and he's brought down at the 47-yard line, and the Jaguars try to get something going. We've reached the 2-minute warning with 1:57 on the clock. Here's 3rd and 3. Everybody out. Gabbert throws, and it's dropped. Mike Thomas, the intended receiver. Thomas has had a good game with 5 catches. Can have. On 4th down, and it's broken up. Jonathan Vilma on the pass intended for Maurice Jones-Drew, and once again, 4th down try by Jacksonville fails. Consecutive games, the 3rd longest streak in NFL history. Ingram with some power gets inside the 45 to the 43.
Timeout, Jacksonville.
Last season, how about Blaine Gabbert? What does a young quarterback take out of a game like this?
Well, I think it's a tale of 2 halves for Blaine Gabbert. He'll be able to look at the first half, be proud of his work, be proud of what his offense was able to do, and then he looks at the second half and say, this is a teaching tool. I've got to learn from my mistakes.
Pro career, but he felt he was ready. And now it's just on-the-job training for the young man. Ingram, and he's got the 1st down. And the Saints will run out the clock. Jacksonville will wrap things up here. The New Orleans Saints defeat the Jacksonville Jaguars 23-10. The veteran coaches acknowledge one another. Saints are winners. And we'll be back in Jacksonville in a moment.